All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Sunil Verma and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan ousted from power after losing no confidence vote in Parliament. Precaution dose of COVID vaccine for all above 18 years to begin today. Prices of Covishield and Covaxin slashed to 225 rupees per dose for private hospitals. India's agri-exports cross $50 billion for the year 2021-22. India declares JUD chief Hafiz Saeed's son, Talha Saeed, as terrorist. Ram Navami being celebrated across the country today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Foundation Day celebrations of Gujarat's Umia Mata Temple this afternoon. India win maiden women's doubles and mixed doubles titles at World Doubles Squash Championships in Glasgow. And in IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore beat Mumbai Indians by 7 wickets in Pune. In Pakistan, Imran Khan has been ousted as the country's Prime Minister after losing a no-confidence vote. Opposition parties were able to secure 174 votes in the 342-member National Assembly in support of the no-confidence motion. PMLN's Ayaz Sadiq, who was chairing the session of the National Assembly, has announced that 174 members have recorded their votes in favour of the resolution. Consequently, the resolution for the vote on no confidence against Imran Khan has been passed by a majority.
174 members have recorded their votes in favour of the resolution. Consequently, the resolution for vote of no confidence against Mr. Imran Khan, the Prime Minister of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, has been passed by a majority of the total membership of the National Assembly.
The vote was held midnight last night after opposition parties brought a motion against Khan, which was upheld by the Supreme Court. After announcing results, Sadiq gave the floor to PMLN President Shehbaz Sharif, who is the joint opposition's candidate for the post of Prime Minister. Minutes before the vote began, National Assembly Speaker Asad Qaisar, along with Deputy Speaker Qasim Suri, resigned. During the vote, members of the ruling Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI were not present. Imran Khan has become the first sitting Prime Minister in the history of Pakistan to be removed from the office through no-trust vote. The new Prime Minister of the country will be decided today when the National Assembly reconvenes, according to reports. Earlier yesterday, the session calling for a no-confidence motion against Imran Khan was adjourned multiple times before voting could take place.
The administration of precaution dose to 18-plus population through private vaccination centres will start today. All those who are more than 18 years of age and have completed 9 months after the administration of second dose will be eligible for the precaution dose. This facility would be available in all private vaccination centres. A report.
About 96% of all 15-plus population in the country have received at least one COVID-19 vaccine dose, while about 83% of the 15-plus population has received both the doses. More than 2.4 crore precaution doses have also been administered to healthcare workers, frontline workers and 60-plus population group. Over 45% of 12 to 14 years age group have also received the first dose. The ongoing free vaccination program through government vaccination centers for first and second dose to the eligible population as well as precaution dose to healthcare workers, frontline workers and 60-plus population will continue and will be accelerated. Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
The prices of Serum Institute's COVID vaccine, Covishield and Bharat Biotech's Covaxin have been slashed significantly. CEO of Serum Institute of India, Adar Poonawalla, said the company has reduced the price of vaccine for private hospitals from 600 rupees to 225 rupees per dose. He said the decision has been taken after discussion with the central government. He also commended the decision of the centre to open precautionary dose to everyone above 18 years of age. Bharat Biotech's co-founder and joint managing director Suchitra Ella said, after consultation with the central government, Bharat Biotech has decided to revise the price from 1,200 rupees to 225 rupees per dose for private hospitals. She also welcomed the decision to make available precautionary dose for all adults.
India's COVID vaccination coverage has crossed 185 crore 68 lakh mark. More than 12 lakh 55,000 vaccine doses were administered yesterday. More than 2 crore 21 lakh vaccine doses have been administered to 12 to 14 years age group so far. More than 2 crore 43 lakh precaution doses have been administered to the identified categories of beneficiaries: healthcare workers, frontline workers, and people above 60 years of age. In our bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Dr. V.K. Paul, member Niti Aayog, will be with us tonight to answer queries related to coronavirus. Listeners can ask questions of the expert from 9:30 p.m. on telephone number 011-234-21230 and 011-234-21764. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This live program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
India's agri-exports has crossed $50 billion for the year 2021-2022, notwithstanding logistical challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic. Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority has scripted a new history by exporting agricultural and processed food products to the tune of $25.6 billion, which is 51% of the India's total agricultural exports of $50 billion. Besides, the APEDA has also surpassed its own export target of $23.7 billion for the financial year 2021-2022 by registering shipment of $25.6 billion. As per the provisional figures released by DGCI and S, the agricultural exports have grown by 19.92% during 2021-2022 to touch $50.21 billion. The significant rise in agri-exports is seen as a testimony of the government's commitment to enhance farmers' income through giving thrust on boosting exports of agricultural and processed food products. The rise in export of agricultural and processed food products has been largely due to the various initiatives taken by the Centre, including organizing B2B exhibitions in different countries, exploring new potential markets through product-specific and general marketing campaigns. The government organized more than 300 outreach programs in collaboration with state governments for enhancing the exports of agricultural produce. A senior leader of terrorist organization Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hafiz Talha Saeed, has been notified as a terrorist under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. Hafiz Talha Saeed is a son of Hafiz Muhammad Saeed and head of the cleric wing of Lashkar-e-Taiba. The Ministry of Home Affairs in a notification said, Hafiz Talha Saeed has been actively involved in recruitment, fund collection, planning and executing attacks by LET in India and against Indian interests in Afghanistan. The ministry said Hafiz Talha Saeed has been actively visiting various LET centers across Pakistan and during his sermon propagate jihad against India, Israel, United States of America and Indian interests in other Western countries.
We go back to the news regarding precaution doses. We talked to Dr. V.K. Paul, member Niti Aayog, and this is what he said.
Today, the country has launched precaution dose implementation for all adults of India. Those who have completed 9 months from the second dose administration are now eligible for the precaution dose. You will take the vaccine that you have taken originally. If you have taken 2 doses of Covaxin, so your precaution dose will be Covaxin. If you took the original 2 doses of Covishield, you will take Covishield as the precaution dose. You must also remember that in between, if you had an attack of corona, then please ensure that 3 months have also elapsed from that episode, since the time of recovery of that episode.
The Ministry of Panchayati Raj will be celebrating the iconic week from the 11th of April to the 17th of April to commemorate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav as a Jan Utsav. The week-long commemorative events will commence with organizing National Stakeholders Conference on Localization of Sustainable Development Goals at Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi tomorrow. The ministry has conceptualized a series of thematic conferences for the iconic week on the theme Panchayaton ke Navnirman ka Sankalpotsav. It will showcase the convergence of the views, ideas, technological interventions, best practices and cutting-edge insights of all stakeholders towards localization of Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, through Panchayati Raj institutions. Election dates for three-tier Panchayat elections in Jharkhand were announced by State Election Commissioner D.K. Tiwari in Ranchi yesterday. Panchayat elections will be held in 4 phases on the 14th of May, 19th of May, 24th of May and 27th of May for Gram Panchayats, Mukhias, Panchayat Committee Member and District Member Councils. Counting of votes will be done for the first phase on the 17th of May, for the second phase on the 22nd of May, and for the third and fourth phases on the 31st of May. The Model Code of Conduct has come into force in the state with the announcement of Panchayat elections.
Pinaka Mk1 Enhanced Rocket System EPRS and Pinaka Area Denial Munition ADM rocket systems have been successfully flight tested by Defence Research and Development Organisation DRDO and Indian Army at Pokhran firing ranges. A total of 24 EPRS rockets were fired from different ranges during last fortnight. Required accuracy and consistency was achieved by the rockets, meeting all trial objectives satisfactorily. With these trials, the initial phase of technology absorption of EPRS by the industry has been successfully completed and the industry partners are ready for user trials or series production of the rocket system.
The South Central Railway SCR has launched the One Station, One Product initiative at 6 major stations in all its 6 divisions. SCR in charge, General Manager Arun Kumar Jain, has inaugurated stalls under the new initiative at Sikandrabad Station. The stalls have also been opened at Kachiguda beside Vijayawada, Guntur and Aurangabad stations. The government has announced the new initiative in the General Budget 2022-23 and already under trial at Tirupati. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Jain said railway stations are suitable to promote indigenous and local products, and the initiative is aimed at making the railway stations a sales and promotional hub for them. The stalls will remain in operation initially till the 7th of next month in 2 spells. Freshwater pearl jewellery and Hyderabad bangles will be promoted at Sikandrabad station, while Pochampalli products will be promoted at Kachiguda station in Telangana.
You are listening to the morning news in All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan ousted from power after losing no confidence vote in Parliament. Precaution dose of COVID vaccine for all above 18 years to begin today. Prices of Covishield and Covaxin slashed to 225 rupees per dose for private hospitals. India's agri-exports crossed $50 billion for the year 2021-2022. India declared JUD Chief Hafiz Saeed's son Talha Saeed as terrorist. Ram Navami being celebrated across the country today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Foundation Day celebrations of Gujarat's Umiya Mata Temple this afternoon. India win maiden women's doubles and mixed doubles titles at World Double Squash Championships in Glasgow. And in IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore beat Mumbai Indians by 7 wickets in Pune. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
Ram Navami is being celebrated with religious fervor and enthusiasm in different parts of the country today. The festival marks the birth of Lord Ram, the 7th incarnation of Lord Vishnu, born in Ayodhya to King Dashrath and Queen Kaushalya in the Treta Yuga. Ram Navami is celebrated on the 9th day of the Chaitra month according to the Hindu lunar calendar. People worship Lord Ram for the way he conducted himself through the various trials and tribulations he was put through throughout his existence on earth. This day coincides with the 9th day of Chaitra Vasant Navratri, wherein people worship 9 different forms of Ma Durga. On the 9th day of Navratri, Ma Siddhidatri is worshipped and the fasting concludes. Ma Siddhidatri is the 9th form of Goddess Durga. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have extended greetings and best wishes to all citizens on the occasion of Ram Navami. In his message, Mr. Kovind urged all citizens to follow the path shown by Lord Ram and resolve to build a glorious nation. In his message, Mr. Naidu said, "In the Indian tradition, Lord Ram personifies the virtues of righteousness, courage and compassion." He said, "The Maryada Purushottam is revered as an ideal king, an obedient son, an affectionate brother, and a role model in the truest sense." The Vice President hopes that this Ram Navami will bring peace and happiness in the lives of people and illuminate their path with the eternal values espoused by Lord Ram. In a tweet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, "May everyone get happiness, peace and prosperity in life by the grace of Lord Shri Ram."
प्रभु की भद्रता का सभ्यता का ध्यान धरि ध्यान धरि राम का गुणगान करिए राम का.
On the occasion of Ram Navami, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the 14th Foundation Day celebrations at the Umia Mata Temple at Gathila, Junagadh in Gujarat at 1 p.m. today through video conferencing.
The inauguration of the temple was done by Sri Modi in 2008 when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. This temple has expanded its social and health services following the suggestions by the Prime Minister. Now the temple is organizing free cataract operations and providing free Ayurvedic medicines to the economically weaker sections of the society. Umia Mata is considered Kuldevi of Kadwa Patidar community in Gujarat. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
As our nation celebrates its 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is conducted every Monday and Tuesday in Morning News. The next question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz will be shared with listeners tomorrow. And now, let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we commemorate the 105th anniversary of the Champaran Satyagraha, the first Satyagraha movement led by Gandhiji in India. It was a farmer's uprising who protested against having to grow indigo with barely any payment for it.
Mahatma Gandhi was persuaded by Rajkumar Shukla, an indigo cultivator from Champaran, to lead the movement against exploitation of farmers in the region. Gandhiji noticed that under the Tinkatia system, the Champaran tenant farmer was bound by law to plant 3 out of every 20 parts of his land with indigo for his landlord. Gandhiji reached Champaran in April 1917 and started implementing the similar methods of satyagraha that he had used in South Africa to organize mass uprisings by people to protest against injustice.
The local authorities did not find his visit welcome, and they tried to dissuade Gandhiji from undertaking his inquiry. But Gandhiji determinedly began his work from the house of Babu Gorakh Prasad in Motihari, headquarters of the district. He was charged with violating Section 144 of CRPC and served summons. Gandhiji refused to leave Champaran, and his popularity soared as the news of his prosecution broke.
On the 18th of April 1917, when Gandhiji appeared in Motihari court, he found 2,000 local people accompanying him. Gandhiji pleaded guilty and read out a statement.
As a law-abiding citizen, my first instinct would be, as it was, to obey the orders served on me. But I could not do so without doing violence to my sense of duty to those for whom I have come. I feel that I could not just now serve them only by remaining in their midst. I could not therefore voluntarily retire. Amid this conflict of duties, I could only throw the responsibility of removing me from them on the administration. I have disregarded the order served upon me not for want of respect for lawful authority, but in obedience to the higher law of our being, the voice of conscience.
The Lieutenant Governor of Bihar ordered the withdrawal of case against Gandhiji. But this small step was a giant leap forward in the history of the freedom struggle. The Satyagraha heralded the advent of the Gandhian era in the Indian independence struggle.
Today we remember the freedom fighter Chirravuri Yageshwar Chintamani. C.Y. Chintamani was born on the 10th of April 1880 at Vijayanagaram in Andhra Pradesh. He spent much of his public life in Prayagraj. Right from his young days, Chintamani was drawn to the moderate leaders of the Indian National Congress. He joined the Indian National Congress in 1898 and also became the editor of the newspaper Vizag Spectator. After his joining, the newspaper was renamed as Indian Herald.
However, the pinnacle of Chintamani's journalistic career came with his association with the newspaper The Leader. Published from Allahabad, The Leader emerged as a leading English nationalist newspaper in the United Province. The Leader was a joint venture of leading nationalists including Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, Motilal Nehru, Sachidananda Sinha and Tej Bahadur Sapru. Chintamani was first brought in as a joint editor with Nagendranath Gupta. He soon became the sole editor of The Leader. The newspaper criticized the British Raj and its policies.
Chintamani left Congress in 1918 to form the Liberal Party with Surendranath Banerjee, Dinshaw Vacha, Chimanlal Setalvad and Tej Bahadur Sapru. As a liberal, his preferred way to secure freedom was the use of constitutional means. Under the Government of India Act 1919, Chintamani served as the Education Minister of the United Province. Between 1927 and 1936, he was the leader of the opposition in the UP Legislative Council. In 1930, he was invited as a delegate to the first Round Table Conference in London.
Chintamani's fiercely independent personality was reflected in his unwavering commitment to principles. Even after he was awarded the knighthood in 1939, his criticism of the British Raj did not cease. Chintamani served as the editor of the newspaper The Leader until his death on the 1st of July 1941. AIR News pays tribute to the nationalist leader C.Y. Chintamani.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Union Culture Minister G. Kishan Reddy inaugurated the 62nd National Exhibition of Arts at Lalit Kala Academy Gallery and Sangeet Natak Academy Awardee Performance Festival yesterday evening at Kamani Auditorium in New Delhi. Union Minister of State for Culture Meenakshi Lekhi also graced the event. On this occasion, Mr. Reddy and Ms. Lekhi felicitated the fellows and awardees and released the 62nd NEA catalogue and also launched the new website of Lalit Kala Academy. Chairman of of Lalit Kala Academy, Ms. Uma Nanduri, and other dignitaries were also present on this occasion.
All India Radio News has launched a new weekly interactive program, Abhyas, for competitive examinations. It is aimed at reaching out to students and job seekers preparing for competitive examinations. The program is in Hindi and is broadcast every Saturday between 9:30 and 10 p.m. Every week a subject is chosen. Students can ask questions through WhatsApp or email, and a guest speaker or expert responds to their queries. Questions on each subject are selected on the basis of crowdsourcing from the students across the country. The program also includes segments like Explainer, Fact File, Examination Calendar, and Question of the Week. The third episode of the program will be aired on Saturday, the 16th of April. The topic for this episode is Geography. Students can send their queries on WhatsApp number 928-909-4044 or mail on abhyas.air@gmail.com. The deadline for submission of questions is the 13th of April, so join us at All India Radio News for the Abhyas every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. on 100.1 FM Gold. Government E-Marketplace GEM has achieved the order value of 1 lakh crore rupees in a single year. This is a significant increase from previous years. News Services Division of All India Radio will bring an interview with the CEO of GEM, PK Singh, in our Spotlight program tonight. To listen to the interview, stay tuned to FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:15 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official, and our website, newsonair.gov.in. In the World Doubles Squash Championships, India's Deepika Pallikal, teaming up with Saurabh Ghoshal and Joshna Chinnappa, has won mixed doubles and women's doubles titles at Glasgow yesterday.
In IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore beat Mumbai Indians by 7 wickets in Pune last night. In the earlier match yesterday, Sunrisers Hyderabad defeated Chennai Super Kings by 8 wickets in Mumbai. Today, Kolkata Knight Riders will take on the Delhi Capitals at the Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai at 3:30 p.m., while Rajasthan Royals will lock horns with Lucknow Super Giants at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai at 7:30 p.m.
And now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital, Delhi, will have heat wave. The temperature will vary between 21 and 43 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon. Chennai is likely to have partly cloudy sky. Kolkata will have a mainly clear sky. Srinagar and Jammu will have mainly clear sky. Leh and Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky. And Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky. Visakhapatnam and Puducherry will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Hyderabad will have partly cloudy sky with the possibility of development of thunder and lightning. Bengaluru likely to have mist. Tiruvananthapuram will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Guwahati, Imphal, Shillong, Itanagar and Agartala will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Booster dose for COVID-19 must be the same as first 2 jabs. Extra fee of rupees 150 allowed, writes Hindustan Times. Price of Covaxin Covishield cut to rupees 225 per dose, writes the paper. Paid booster capped at rupees 375, writes the Sunday Tribune. Sunday Pioneer report that India's first confirmed case of XE COVID-19 variant has been reported in a 67-year-old man in Mumbai. Imran Khan goes kicking and screaming, headlines the Sunday Express. Imran becomes the first Pak PM to be bowled out by no trust vote, writes the Asian Age. The Election Commission has told Supreme Court that it cannot regulate state policies regarding offering freebies before or after elections. The decision must be taken by political parties, reports the Sunday Statesman. And finally, at 42.4 degrees Celsius, yesterday was Delhi's hottest day in first half of April since 1950, writes the Sunday Times.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan ousted from power after losing no confidence vote in Parliament. Precaution dose of COVID vaccine for all above 18 years to begin today. Prices of Covishield and Covaxin slashed to 225 rupees per dose for private hospitals. India's agri-exports crossed $50 billion for the year 2021-22. India declares JUD chief Hafiz Saeed son Talha Saeed as terrorist. Ram Navami being celebrated across the country today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Foundation Day celebrations of Gujarat's Umia Mata Temple this afternoon. India win maiden women's doubles and mixed doubles titles at World Doubles Squash Championships in Glasgow. And in IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore beat Mumbai Indians by 7 wickets in Pune. With that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.